Hey guys, hello and welcome to Bike Advice. I'm Nilanjan this side and I'm going to walk you through now with all that has happened in the world of motorcycles in this week. So first I'll begin with what has happened in the world of adventure tourers. The long-awaited Kawasaki's quarter-liter adventure tourer Versace 250 has again come back into engine is the same. Hi, sorry about the internet connection. So yeah, it's based on the same old 250cc Ninja that we used to be sold in India long back, and which was later replaced by the Ninja 300. However, there'll be a bit of tuning expected. That's what Kawasaki has done with the 650cc range, like the ER6 and the Ninja 650 and the Versace 650 all have different tunings. So we expect that to come possibly at ICMA next month. One report has come up in some Indonesian media website which says that the quarter-liter Versace will be available in two versions. So their source is a filing by Kawasaki which has the code name LE250B and LE250C. Now LE has been a suffix which they have used in registering their bigger Versace. So even in the case of the 650 versus 650, they have used the LE name. So there is a very good chance that ICMA this year, finally at ICMA this year, we expected it to come last year as well, but this time finally it will be here. If we continue speaking about adventure tourers, there is one particular motorcycle which has again caught the attention of people here, especially people who had been waiting for the TVS BMW G310R, and that is its adventure tourer. That is the G310GS. Most spy shots have come in, and I'll list you a few things about the bike that we know so far. So essentially, the engine is the same. BMW might just tune it up a bit differently to suit its nature, but possibly the output will be the same. The 313cc single cylinder DOHC liquid cooled mill will produce somewhere around 34 bhp and 28 newton meter of torque. So that, and let's see if they tune it up a bit or not. Then we have the same frame. Then we have the same alloy wheels which we have seen in the Naked Roadster as well as in the Akula concept at the Auto Expo by TVS. Then the tires are almost the same. Yeah, they were the same, and of course it had a certain few models did have a main stand, which will actually be a boon for adventure lovers, where you might have to park your bike at some uneven surface, and a main stand will come of great help then. Well, apart from that, a lot of units have also been seen with a top case. Now I'm not sure whether the main version will be with a top case or not, but it will be available as an accessory as far as I expect. Also, the pannier mounts, the top mount mount will be there most probably as standard. Also, moving ahead, the footrest hangers are black in color. The exhaust canister is the same, but it loses the black finish, and it gets a all metal finish now. The heat shield on the canister now gets a black paint instead of the chrome one. So that's about adventure tourers. Now let's talk about a few India specific things, like the Mojo. The Mahindra Mojo is now available via Paytm, and if you purchase it via Paytm, you get a free tank bag as a gift. Introductory offer only, so please move fast if you want one. Then Ducati has started a 24-hour 7 days a week roadside assistance program, and to help you in the festive season, in order to help you get your favorite Ducati in the festive season, they have also tied up with Yes Bank and providing various attractive schemes. You can check with Ducati for more details on that. And the Bajaj V15. Now that's a bike which I would like to talk about a bit. I love the idea behind Bajaj's V concept. So basically, with the rising amount of nationalism and nationalistic pride in our countrymen, they took the INS Vikrant, some metal from INS Vikrant, and they the scraped aircraft carrier, which was incidentally also the country's first aircraft carrier, and they used it in a motorcycle called as the V15. Paying homage to the legacy behind it. Right now, they have recently launched a new promotional campaign featuring one Mahavir Chakra awardee. He was also, I think, yeah, Mr. S.K. Gupta. He was also there in the ship during the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War. So that, I think this is the first time any advertisement has featured a decorated soldier. Like, and it's in first person narrative by the soldier. Also, they have launched a new ocean blue color, which I believe brings it way closer to the navy heritage they have been trying to build on. Okay. Okay, speaking about products, Hero Motors, which is not to be confused with Hero Motocorp. Hero Motor, which is their components division, they have announced that they'll be building transmissions for Ducati. Now, don't be surprised, Hero has been doing a lot of work for major manufacturers. Almost 80% of their components business, which they have developed with some $150 million or something, that goes for international manufacturers like BMW Motorrad and of course Harley Davidson. So that is one nice thing, Make in India campaign. Then we have, okay, let's talk about international products as well. The new R6 is here. The 600cc class is non-existent in India, and I'm pretty sure that the R6 will not come even in its 2017 iteration to this country. However, it's a major product. It's a major product which I would like to talk about, especially because of the falling sales in the 600cc. All the manufacturers are like shying away from the 600cc's. Like, people are moving into bigger capacities like 800cc's and all. I think Kawasaki is trying to do it in a 900cc now. But Yamaha has continued to show his faith in the 600, and they have the new R6 now. Now, in the motor wise, it's the same engine, so expect the same power output. The 4-cylinder engine remains unchanged as far as we know so far. They haven't diverged the output figures yet. However, it gets a completely new fairing inspired from the 2015 R1 and looks brilliant. It just looks brilliant. You can head to our website and see how it is. Then the brakes are the same setup as the R1. You also get beefier 43mm front suspension by KYB, and the monoshock rear is also a new setup. Then you also get traction control, standard ABS, which has not been there in the R6. Of course, you get slipper clutch as always. The fuel tank is made of aluminium now to save weight, somewhere around 2 kilos or something. The frame is also been inspired from the new R1 and uses the cast magnesium subframe, which is again lighter. The exhaust is titanium. This is the second titanium exhaust motorcycle we are hearing in the last few days, especially after Honda's new Fireblade. So that, okay, now speaking of Fireblade, the Fireblade might just get another third version at EICMA next month. There are reports coming in that Honda might be readying a cheaper variant without all the shenanigans of, say, the advanced suspension setup, semi-active suspension setup. I think that will be skipped, and if they actually do it, the suspension will be skipped, and as in a cheaper, more affordable suspension will be used. Yeah, also the titanium body parts like the fuel tank and all will be made of normal materials to cut costs. Traction control, cornering ABS, IMU, I think these will stay. Of course, the riding modes will reduce because of the change in suspension setup, but however, it will be cheaper. So basically, this is not something which is new for Japanese bike makers. If you remember, Yamaha did the same when they launched the 2015 R1. Almost a year after the 2015 R1 came, they brought in the R1S, which was $2,000 cheaper than the flagship. Okay, if just getting back to the R6 for a second, the R6 this time is very expensive. I think the previous version retailed at somewhere around $9,000 or something. This time it's at $12,200, which is very close to the R1S's pricing. Deliveries for the R6 in America and Europe will begin sometime around March or April 2017. So there is one concept product which I would like to talk about now. The BMW Vision Next 100. I know concepts are something which are very difficult to love with, because you know it's not going to enter production, especially something as flamboyant as this one. You can read about the motorcycle and see its pictures on our website, www.bikeadvice.in. So this just looks alien and futuristic piece of machinery. You do not have to wear a helmet, you do not have to wear protective clothing. You just wear a visor to prevent your eyes from being damaged during wind blasts. The bike changes shape. Yes, you heard me right. The bike changes shape as per the requirement. So if you are at, the engine in this one basically is compact when it's at rest, and when it's in motion, to make it aerodynamically efficient, it just expands a bit and gives it more aerodynamic efficiency. The tires also change their treads automatically depending on the surface, and the frame also moves. Now, why am I so excited about the bike? This is what the future is. The BMW has always developed. In fact, everyone has been developing concepts keeping like 5-6 years ahead in advance. But this one is decades ahead in advance, probably like the next 30-40 years or maybe more. Powered by an electric motor, a motorcycle which changes shape according to your requirements. Oh man, that's a dream. Of course, this one will kill all the rider inputs and all. The fun of riding won't be there. But imagine a world where the motorcycles tires changes the grip levels depending on your need. Like you are at the track on the weekend, it automatically becomes a track focused tire. Sounds science fiction, yes, but then maybe some point of time some manufacturer will make an big R&D move and develop a tire which will be like this. And the very next moment when you're on your way back, say to Gurgaon or something, thanks to the craters that you have, your tires will become off-road centric automatically. Now that's a dream, of course, but maybe this is how motorcycles will be in the future. So Vision Next 100 by BMW Motorrad is all about that, to give you an idea about the future. Now, okay, let's talk about one more thing. If you're talking about future, climate change has been a major factor. A lot has been said about it, so I won't directly dwell into it. What I'll talk about is that recently you guys must have heard about something called as the Paris Agreement. So basically, as per the Paris Agreement, countries who are ratifying it, that is signing it, they have to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, basically carbon dioxide, methane and all. With carbon dioxide is a major exhaust gas, unfortunately. So yeah, so these you have to reduce the greenhouse gases, and then give a plan to the United Nations of how you are going to help restrict the rise in global temperature to 2 degrees. Yeah, doesn't really concern automotives? No, it does. It does majorly, because European countries like, say, the Netherlands, they have said they'll stop using internal combustion engines by 2025. They're going to and Norway is going to follow the suit, and Germany recently declared that they're going to do that by 2030. That is big. How is that problematic for India? We recently signed that. Now that's not a bad thing, because saving the environment is essential, but that might mean the demise of internal combustion engines. So maybe a few years from now, possibly a few decades, you won't have the normal petrol engines that we love so much right now. Of course, that's still far away for a developing country like India. A huge lot of R&D has to go into it. Not just India, everyone. A huge lot of R&D has to go into it. We need to find a cheaper and more efficient way of generating electricity and not burning coal, or maybe a nuclear plant. But anyway, let's not debate on that. We need better electricity. We need cleaner electricity, and we also need more things like, say, subsidies. Okay, if we talk about subsidies, the government did start something called as the FAME initiative, uh, facilitating faster adoption of electric vehicles and all. But it's still at a very nascent level, especially because you have such high duties on CBU electric vehicles. The Prius, for example, the Toyota Prius, for example, has like a huge amount of import duty on it. That's just wrong. Motorcycles will also have to follow suit. I'm sorry, guys, but in the future, there is a big possibility that you and I will be riding an electric motorcycle, all electric motorcycle. Say bye bye to the grant. Okay. If you remember, there was one particular motorcycle which recently launched in India by the folks at Torque Motorcycles. They have a rich heritage of racing at Isle of Man TT Racing and all. Their product, the T6X, is a brilliant looking motorcycle. We haven't ridden it yet, but it seems very nice on paper. It claims of a 100-kilometer range and a top speed of 100 km per hour. You can book the motorcycles via their website, and although I think deliveries are restricted to 3 cities right now: Pune, New Delhi, and Bangalore, as far as I remember. You can check all the details on our website again. And it costs just 1.25 lakhs. I mean, that's just brilliant. 100-kilometer range, top speed of 100 km per hour. That's a nice price tag, I would say. Good work, guys. Okay, I would end this session by just one small topic. Everyone knows the rivalry between Hero and Honda. It's just something brilliant in this country. Hero is strong because of its brilliant market share in the entry level 110cc segment, with its Splendors and Passions, where it has a 65% market share. Just huge, just absolutely huge. Honda, on the other hand, rules because of the Activa. In fact, last month their Activa sales crossed the 3.5 lakh barrier for the first time. 3.5 lakh Activas. That's just brilliant, Honda. That's just brilliant. Think of it, they used to sell somewhere around 4 lakh. Yeah, so I'll give you some figures. So I wrote these figures down because I'm bad with numbers. Sorry, guys. So in September, Honda sold 5,69,011 two-wheelers. That's very good, by the way. That's very good for Honda. And this, in comparison, the last year numbers stood at 4,30,000. So that's the best ever leap in the history of Indian two-wheelers. Hero, in comparison, sold 6.74 lakh motorcycles and scooters, which is another huge feat, especially because they are in the transition phase right now. They're shifting away from Honda sourced engines to their own indigenous engines. So the scooters, the Mastro Edge and the Duet, they have that engine, and they're good. It's seriously good. You also have the Splendor 110 i3S, which has their own indigenously developed 110cc engine. Another nice product. And the recently launched Achiever 150 i3S, which I really like as a commuter. It's a brilliant motorcycle. You can check more about that on our videos section. We have ridden the motorcycles and I've talked more about it there. Now, if we talk about the balance between the shift in these two brands, Hero and Honda. So now listen to these numbers a bit carefully. In the month of August, July, and June, Honda sold 4.66 lakh motorcycles, 4.29 and 4.08 lakh motorcycles. So on an average, say around 4.2 some lakh something motorcycles. Hero So in the same months, August, July, and June, they sold 6.16, 5.20, and 5.38 lakh units. Brilliant. Yeah. So the numbers are still high, but if you look at a bigger perspective, like in the year so far, in the financial year so far, Hero has sold 35.68 lakh units, and Honda has sold 28.09 lakh units. So the difference between the two brands is 7.59 lakhs. 7.59 lakhs this year. That seems big, but then it's practically reducing. It's shrinking every day. So if you look at last year's difference, it stood at 11.35 lakh units. That 11.3 something lakhs units is 11.28 or something is the number which Bajaj has sold this year. So long back when Bajaj was trying to overtake Hero, the day has gone for them right now, and they are, of course, they're doing very well in their own segment. Their products are selling really good, especially the V15 and the Pulsars, and the Avenger is doing very well. But their attempt to go past Hero has remained stagnant. They are at almost the somewhat similar levels, whereas Hero has grown exponentially. But the difference between Hero and Honda has been shrinking. Honda is getting precariously close to Hero, and Hero is the country's largest two-wheeler maker. Honda is trying to overtake them, and let's just see what is going to happen. It's a litmus test for Hero because they are using their own engines from now, and they aim to shift away from the old Honda sourced engines. And for Honda, it's a fight against their former partners. Let's just see what happens there. So yeah, that's about it, guys. If there's anything, please leave your queries in the comment section. Hey Neil, how is the Hero Dash scooter? The Dash is not sold in India. As far as I understand, the Mastro Edge is sold as under the name Dash in some South American countries, and yeah, the Mastro Edge, if you ask, is a pretty nice product. It's got their own engine. It's got various features like an exterior fuel tank, and you have a light in the under-seat carriage, and you have a USB slot for charging phones and all. That's a pretty nice product. You can definitely look into it. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and do remember to come back next week for more. Thank you.